Bruchim haboim, welcome everyone. We're about to begin Be'ezras Hashem together on Daf Samech Ches Amud Beis, 7 lines from the bottom. The Gemara previously told us that Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish are of the opinion that a tinok shenishba, a person who was a child and grew up amongst the Nochrim, he is not going to be chayiv a korban chatos for his transgressions of Shabbos because he's oines. The Gemara said, who does he follow? Who do they follow? Which opinion? The opinion of Munbaz. The Gemara then brought a brisa bringing Munbaz, and Munbaz also said in that brisa that a person who does something b'mezid is compared to a person who does something b'shoigeg. Just like somebody who does something b'mezid does so with yediyah, with knowledge, so too a person who does a transgression b'shoigeg also does so with yediyah, with knowledge. Obviously, the Gemara has to explain that, which it will be'ezer Hashem. But now the Gemara wants to understand what is the drasha, where does he learn this from? My time of the Munbaz, says the Gemara. Dichsiv Torah achas yelochem lo'oisa bishkaga. In regards to a korban chatos, it says that a person who transgresses avodah zara b'shoigeg brings a korban chatos. And it's used the word Torah achas, one law, one Torah. V'samich lei, and it says right afterwards, v'hanefesh asher ta'aseh biyad ramo. A person who then is oiv avodah zarah b'mezid, deliberately, it says right away afterwards. So he learns the following hekesh. Haki shoigig lemezid. Ma mezid shahayisa loy yediyah. Af shoigig shahayisa yediyah. Just like the comparison is that b'mezid, the person who transgresses has yediyah, so too the one who transgresses b'shoigig has yediyah. And again, the Gemara will explain shortly what does that mean, that a person who transgresses b'shoigig has knowledge, has yediyah. V'rabbanon haytayro achas my avdilei. That which the Rabbanon, their position is not like Munbaz. What do they do with the words v'tara achas, which implies there's a comparison between mezid and shoigig? Mi boy luhu lekidemakre le Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi lebrei. They need it for that which Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi taught to his son as follows. Torah achas yelochem lo'oise bishkoga. There's one Torah in regards to one who does bishoigeg. V'ksiv, and it says v'chisishgu v'loisaasu es kol ha-mitzvos ha'ele. And those that will err, when you will err and do a transgression, meaning b'shoigeg, and refers to it, all the mitzvahs. Chazal learn out in another place that here it's a reference to avodah zarah, that avodah zarah is shokol keneged kol ha-mitzvos. V'ksiv, and it's written in regards to avodah zarah, v'hanefesh asher ta'aseh biyad ramo. The nefesh that does avodah zarah b'mezid, the pasuk says v'nichresu, he'll be cut off mikerev amel. He'll be cut off, his soul will be cut off from the rest of his people, mikerev amo. So here we learn out that here the comparison to avodah zarah, it says kol ha-mitzvos. Therefore, avodah zarah is compared to all of the Torah as follows: hukshu kulam la'avodah zarah. All of the mitzvos, all of the Torah is compared to avodah zarah as follows: ma lehalon dover shechayovin al zdoine koresh shegosoy chatos. Just like when it comes to avodah zarah, when a person is transgressed the avodah zarah b'mezi deliberately, he's chayiv kores. When he does so, the pasuk says b'shoigeg, he's chayiv a korban chatos. Af kol dover shechayovin al zdoinai kores v'ashigosoy chatos. So too all the other transgressions that he will be chayiv for kores b'mezi, if he does it deliberately b'mezi. When he does so b'shoigeg, he'll be chayiv a korban chatos. So here we learn out a tremendous principle when it comes to then doing an aveir that carries on it a chiyuv kores. For example, like Shabbos. Shabbos, when a person is mechalo Shabbos by doing one of the malachos d'oraisa, it carries with it the punishment of kores. When he does so b'shoigeg, he's chayiv korban chatos. Ve'ela, now Gemara turns to Munbaz. Ve'ela Munbaz shegoga b'mai. That which Munbaz says that a person who does b'shoigeg has a yediyah, and we added before in the drasha, in the brisa, that a yediyah even b'shas ma'isa. So what does it mean that you have a yediyah b'shas ma'isa when doing something is called b'shoigeg? That means l'chara b'mezid. What's the difference between somebody does something b'shoigeg b'mezid, advertently or inadvertently? If you have yediyah, how could that be b'shoigeg? Explains the Gemara, Kegon sheshogag bekorban. Munbaz is of the opinion that he knows the aver that he's doing, and he also knows that he's chayiv, that he's going to be chayiv kores if he does it b'mezid. However, if he does it b'shoigeg, he doesn't know that he's chayiv a korban chatos. That's enough to be considered to be now shoigeg. And that's what Munbaz means when he says somebody is called shoigeg if he doesn't have the idea of korban. However, the Rabbanan say by not knowing that a person will be chayiv a korban chatos does not mean to say that he's now considered to be b'shoigeg. As long as he knows that he's doing an avera, he doesn't know that he's doing an avera, that's called b'shoigeg. Now the Gemara clarifies the opinion of the Rabbanan. Rabbanan shegoga b'mai. What does it mean that it's considered to be shoigeg according to the Rabbanan? Does it mean that you have to not know the avera that you're doing? Or does it mean that it's enough to say that he doesn't know that he's chayiv kares for the avera? Says the Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan Omar kivan sheshogag bekares, afal pi shehizid belav. Rabbi Yochanan explains, since that he was shoigeg bekares, even though he doesn't know the lav, meaning to say that as long as he doesn't know the punishment of kares, that's called shoigeg. Even though he knows when he does this transgression that it's a transgression. But the fact that it's missing in his yediyah of kares, that itself renders him to be b'shoigeg. V'reish Lakish Omar Ashe Yishkoig Belav v'kares. Reish Lakish argues and says, no, a shogeg is only defined as somebody who does something not knowing the transgression and not knowing that it's chayiv kares. Omar Rava, my time of Dirshu ben Lakish. What is Reish Lakish's reason? Where does he learn out that indeed you have to not know both the transgression as well as the chiyuv of kares? Omar Kroi brings the pasuk Asher lo ta'aseno ve'oshem. The pasuk says that it was not to be done, and he was doing so b'shoigeg ve'oshem, and he is guilty. That means to say that he Asher yishkoig b'lav ve'kares sheba. As long as he doesn't know the transgression as well as the punishment of kares, that's considered to be b'shoigeg. Rabbi Yochanan Hai Kro Dirshu ben Lakish my avile. The pasuk seems to imply, like Rabbi Shimon Lakish, that he doesn't know that he's doing a lav, a transgression. So what does Rabbi Yochanan do with that verse? Explains the Gemara, he needs it like explained in the following brisa. The brisa begins by saying Me'am ha'oretz prat lemumar, that the pasuk begins in regards to the one who's chayiv b'shoigeg. It says in that pasuk, V'im nefesh achas techta b'shkoga me'am ha'oretz ba'asoisa achas mitzvahs Hashem asher lo tasena v'oshem. Meaning to say that it's saying that the am ha'oretz, the people of the land, is going to be chayiv to bring a korban chatos, to the exclusion of a mumar. A mumar is somebody who doesn't have any regard for the Torah and the mitzvahs. Therefore, that person is not going to be able to then bring a korban chatos. The brisa continues, Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Mishum Rabbi Shimon Asher lo sa'aseno ve'oshem. That which Reish Lakish brought before lo sa'aseno, it means that he doesn't know and he was guilty. He explains as follows: Hashav miyediyasoi mevi korban al shkagasoi. That person who refrains from doing an avera because of a knowledge of the avera, that person, he will bring a korban chatos. Lo shav miyediyasoi eino mevi korban al shkagasoi. But if he does not have he doesn't refrain from that knowledge, then he will not bring a korban for his shkaga. Meaning to say that here Rabbi Yochanan follows the opinion of Rabbi Shimon, that the way they're learning the verse is different than Reish Lakish brought it. Reish Lakish brought to say that you don't know. Lo sa'asen means you don't know the Aveira. But here Rabbi Shimon is learning that he knows and he's shav. He's refraining from that which he knew. And therefore, That's what Rabbi Yochanan means. He knows about the Aver, he just doesn't know that you're chayiv for kares. The Gemara now brings the following Mishnah to then ask a kasha on Reish Lakish's position that you need to know the Avera as well as that you're chayiv kares for shoygeg. Says the Gemara, Tnan, Ovois Malachos Arbaim Chosar Achas. Our Mishnah Lekamon says that there are 40 minus 1 malachos, 39 malachos, Ovois malachos on Shabbos. V'avinam bo, let us analyze this. Minyana lamali. Why does the Tana say that there are 39 avos malachos? Hare, if you count all the malachos that are listed in the Mishnah, Koitzir, Zoreya, Choresh, then you'll come to 39. So you don't need the Tana to tell you that it's 39 malachos. You can just count what's listed in the Mishnah. V'om Rabbi Yochanan she'im asan kulon behelem echad chayev akol achas v'achas. He's coming to teach you that if you are then doing all of the malachos, you know that it's Shabbos, you're doing all the malachos behelem echad, you come to then the maximum of 39 chiyuvim of korban chatos. Hechi mishkachas lo. How do you come to this? Bezodan Shabbos shigos malachos. When you know that it is Shabbos, and that person who knows that it's Shabbos doesn't know the malachos that he is doing. So then he transgresses one after the next until he does all 39 malachos. He's chayav korban chatos for each and every one of them. Says the Gemara, Bishlama l'Rabbi Yochanan, do Omar kivin sheshagag bekores, afa b'shehezi belav, mishkachas lo kigon di yada lo l'Shabbos belav. According to Rabbi Yochanan, it's very good. Because according to Rabbi Yochanan, since that he's shogeg bekores, but he does know the lav, he does know the transgression, then you can come out a scenario that indeed he knows about Shabbos. And he knows that it's Shabbos, he just doesn't know that he's doing malachos. Thereby, he can come out to be doing 39 malachos and being chayiv a korban chatos for each and every one. However, according to Reish Lakish, that says you don't even know the aveira, the transgression that you're doing, whereby you don't know that it's Shabbos, because you have to understand that there's some sort of Isser on Shabbos to then know that you're going to then be doing you know that it's also on there's Shabbos, and you're doing malacha that you're not aware of which malachos, but you do know that it's Shabbos. But according to Reish Lakish, if you don't know that there's an Isser of Shabbos, then you can't be therefore transgressing 39 malachas that you're going to be chayiv a korban chatos for each one, as follows. The Gemara explains. Who requires that you do not know about the transgression as well as the chiyuv kares. The yada leila Shabbos v'mai. How does he know that you're going to be having Shabbos now? We said again, to be over 39 malachos and chayiv a korban chatos for each one, you have to know that it's Shabbos. You just don't know the malachos. But if you don't know malachos, then you don't know it's Shabbos either, because Shabbos distinguishes itself from the rest of the week because there's averos, there's transgressions of Shabbos. So according to Reish Lakish, how can you come to this 39 malachos? Answers the Gemara, and therefore it's a kasha on Reish Lakish's position. L'chara, it seems to be like Rabbi Yochanan, that you do know the transgression, you just don't know the kares. Answers the Gemara, the yada betchumin v'alid Rabbi Akiva, that he knows the Isser of Techumin, which is an Isser deraisa according to Rabbi Akiva, which doesn't come with a korban chatos. And therefore, he knows that it's Shabbos, he just doesn't know the malachos, and therefore it can be over 39 different malachos being chayiv korban chatos for each one. Ask the Gemara, Man tana loha de ton rabban, who teaches that which is taught in the following brisa? Shogag bezeh ubezeh zeu shogeg. A person is shogeg in the not knowing the malacha and is not knowing that it's Shabbos. And this is the classical shoygeg. V'ha'omur batar, which is stated in the Torah. Hazy bezeh bezeh zohi mezid ha'omur batar. One who transgresses by knowing that he does an iser deraisa on Shabbos deliberately, and he knows that it's Shabbos. This is the classical mezid that's written in the Torah. The Brisa goes on to say, Shogag b'Shabbos v'hezi b'malachos. If he is shogig in Shabbos, not knowing that it's Shabbos, but he's mezid in malachos, or sheshogag malachos v'hez b'Shabbos, or that he's shogig in malacha, doesn't know that he's doing a malacha, but he does know that it's Shabbos. Oi, or the Brisa continues, Sha'omar yodeya anisha malacha zu asur. I know that this malacha is prohibited. Aval eni yodeya shechayav naleh korban oloi chayav. And I don't know whether, however, is chayav a korban or not. Kiman kim munbaz. This is munbaz. Like munbaz we saw before that says, the end of this brisa comes to show that this is munbaz because it says he doesn't know that it is a korban, that he's chayav a korban chatos. That's the sheet of Rabbanon against the sheet of munbaz against the Rabbanon that holds that you can know the transgression and you can have a yediyah of the kares. You just don't know that you're chayav a korban. That's the sheet of munbaz that indeed a person is b'shoigeg in such a scenario.